Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's topic is so important if you're a guitar player of any level who at any time or is still struggling with maintaining relaxation while you play. It's a very common problem, of course. Dare I say, everybody has suffered at least a few times from it. And a teacher telling you to just relax doesn't really help, does it? So let's see if we can figure it out together. As you might have heard, playing relaxed is key to speed and coordination and everything we associate with guitar technique. But actually, and more importantly, it's vital to create a truer and purer connection with the instrument. This has been instilled into players for centuries, from the violin to the piano to the voice and brass and wind instrument, where playing tense can actually prevent you from even producing a sound, let alone a pleasant one. For us electric guitar players, because we pick up the instrument in so many different ways and different backgrounds and different reasons and different levels of music education and so on, plus the fact that every guitar player wants to play faster than every other guitar player in the world, that makes us very prone to developing this tension problem and this lack of relaxation. And through the years, we simply get used to it. And it becomes a new normal, and that's why so many guitar players are afflicted by it. And the effects of this can be absolutely devastating. We play worse and sluggish, and we enjoy it less, that's for sure. And with a bit of bad luck, we can actually develop very serious health problems related to the hand, wrist, and fingers. So how do we learn to recognize and fix this problem? And is it even possible for those of us who has gotten so used to playing tense that we don't even know or remember what it feels like to play relaxed? The good news is that yes, you can. After years of seeing hundreds of students and friends and fellow guitar players suffer from this, I developed a very simple yet effective method, and I used it on myself too. When I find some tension creeping into my playing, I just apply it and it works wonders. So as long as you put some work into it, I think you'll have no problem seeing results. In today's video, we'll focus on the left hand, but certainly this will work on your right hand too, and even other daily activities where you might feel tension creep up on you. We'll discuss 3 tension points today: the finger, the hand, and the body. And before we try to fix them, we have to learn how to identify them. And so that's what we're gonna get to right now. If you'd like to pick up your guitar and follow along, that would be great. And let's begin. The first area of tension we'll look at today is the finger. And that of course means where the finger meets the string. And without even seeing you play, I can assume you're probably playing with too much pressure on the string. I made a video not too long ago about this. If you want to check it out, I'll link it above. But very briefly, here's a little test for you. Play a note on any string, just without thinking about it as you normally would. Put your finger down and pick it. Okay, now as you keep picking it, start releasing tension or pressure from the finger. Less and less until you eventually lose the note. There's a bunch of reverb here, but no notes. Now imagine a feather landing on your finger and apply tiny amounts of pressure back onto the finger until you get your note back, right? This is all the pressure you need to produce that note. Most people are amazed when they do this by the difference of what they're actually doing now to the amount of pressure they usually exert when they play normally. The second point of tension I call the hand, because we feel it in the whole hand, but it actually tends to originate from the thumb. This is very common for beginners when they learn their first bar chords or even power chords. And after a while of playing, they're like, oh, it really hurts. And then it kind of goes away, but we don't really fix it. I think we just get used to it. So let's get back to playing something. You can play a note again or a chord. I'll just play this little D major 7th chord. If you want to play it with me, you'll find it right here. And as you play it, I would like you to press down harder and harder and harder with the thumb. Press it down really hard. You'll see eventually, and very quickly actually, how the pressure from the thumb won't hold it. It will start giving it to the rest of the hand. And you start feeling tension here in the middle of the hand, here to the side. You'll actually feel it in the fingers as they try to counter the pressure of the thumb. Now your whole hand is tense, and now slowly release the tension from the thumb. You can keep playing as you release. And eventually, like before, you lose the chord. And now, just like before, bring it back just a tiny bit at a time until you get all your 4 notes back. Again, think of the difference between how this feels and how it feels when you normally play chords. That's a whole bunch of extra tension we don't need. The third and final tension point is what I call the body. And the body seems to be affected differently for different people. Some people feel it in the shoulder and the elbow. others in the neck or the upper back. I've seen people tense up in their legs and knees, and the funny thing about this area is that it really isn't needed at all to play. As you play, you certainly don't use your neck and even less your feet, and yet this is where a lot of tension is built up. To help you identify and feel this big body tension, I found that the easiest way is to find something that's a bit more challenging for you technically, something you haven't mastered quite yet, something you kind of struggle with as you play it, and it should be also longer, so maybe a full solo, maybe a full song, something that will take you maybe a minute or two to go through, because sometimes big muscles, they take a bit of time to tense up. And without knowing you again, I venture to say that you start feeling it, maybe in your shoulder, maybe in this shoulder, pulling it back, maybe your neck will go up like this, and whatever it is, maybe your legs will start squeezing together, and you'll start feeling it, but it takes a bit of time, so pause the video if you need to. Go through something that you find challenging and then get back to it, and I love to hear actually in the comments below where it is that you develop your tension. Now that you've learned to identify and feel these problem spots and these tension areas, let's fix this. And for that I would like you to, no pun intended, pick something simple. I will use this very simple major scale. You're welcome to follow along. It goes like this. Very simple, and let's begin. To start, I would like you to simply play the first note of the scale as you normally would. Just like that, very simple. But now take a second on this note and go through all three areas. So try to press as little as possible with your finger, then try to focus on the hand, see if there's any tension anywhere, especially in the thumb, and see if you feel it irradiate through the hand. And then go through your whole body. Look for any big tension. This might be tiny in the beginning because we just started, but still see if you feel maybe your leg come up or, you know, whatever it is. And take a deep breath and relax it. You don't have to jiggle it like this, but this is like a visual aid. You know, make sure there's no tension, right? Do it as many times as you want. There's no rush, there's no rules. When you think you got it, I would like you to now do it again with an extra note, like this. Can you hold on to that relaxation? Or as you play this note, maybe you start feeling a bit of tension in the hand. If that's the case, don't worry about it. Relax. Maybe loosen up your feet, maybe have come up, or I don't know, your neck. So relax everything again, breathe in, breathe out, play the two notes again. Okay, now it feels pretty good. If I'm comfortable, I'm going to play three notes now. Can I hold the relaxation through the three notes? Maybe you can. In that case, you can add one more. If you can't, there's no problem at all. Just do the three notes. And relax. But if you're comfortable, keep going. Very slowly. You can go way slower than I'm doing. And as you feel tension come up anywhere, stop, bring it down, relax, and start again. And every time you do it, without really trying, just let it happen, get to more notes, right? That would be the measure of your relaxation. Can you go through the whole scale, and by the end of the scale, be in the same state of relaxation as you were on the first one? Then you can work your way downwards. You can play it in different areas of the neck. If this position has a bit of a stretch for you, feel free to get another one. You know, it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to go step by step by step. And the idea here is that we don't let tension build. We don't let it. We don't allow it. The moment you feel it coming, you go, no thanks. You breathe out and you let it go, right? And then you keep playing. And now this will be a challenge at the beginning because you're so used to playing many things, and it's hard to just slow down and go, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. And I understand that you won't be able to change your whole playing, you know, in a moment. And so maybe just dedicate 10 or 15 or 20 minutes every day to do this, and then you just play as you normally would. Slowly you should see that this new way of playing will kind of transfer into your regular playing, and you will become much more relaxed. One very important thing to remember is that tension is not just a factor of where but also of when. Tension develops in time, and it comes and it goes, and it's hard to pinpoint sometimes. That's why it's so hard to work on this, especially if you're an advanced guitar player, you already know how to play, and you're like, I don't feel like going back to just playing one note at a time and fixing every little thing. But that's like with everything guitar related, at least on this channel. There are no secrets, there's no shortcuts, it's all about the work and the things you feel you have to improve. And if you think you have to improve this, then this is how you do it. I hope this helps you. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and if you'd like to help me make more of these, there's a Patreon link below. Thank you so much as always for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.